Growth therapy. Testing 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2 3. Well, I look really low. Hello? Do I need to swallow my mic for once?
I know, but also like that's not your regular level.
No, it's
of
not.
Volume. Like you're gonna go high. Like you were very like
this burger body's gonna go a lot higher.
It was like that wasn't your actual.
When that guy called this a burger body, I was like, "It's because I look so
God.
greasy." I did look greasy in that episode.
Is it because it's like I love burgers?
I don't know. Or was it fat shaming? Like,
I think it was it fat shaming?
I don't know. One time I heard a guy say on the boardwalk of Venice Beach, "Hey, girl, you got a burger body." And it made me and my friends stop. He wasn't talking to us, but I just thought it was the funniest pickup line ever.
What is a burger body?
I don't know. We're burger babes.
Yeah, he called us. What did he say? We were
two burger babes.
Something like that.
Made me think of like Krabby Patties or
Right.
something. But like we're just like.
But I love a burger.
I know. You should be sponsored by a burger place.
Honestly, In-N-Out. Sponsor me. Wait, what's your favorite burger place?
Oh, in all of LA?
Just all of in general.
Okay. Oh God, that's so hard. Well, Seattle. Shout out to Dick's.
Yeah,
that's the name of it. It's called Dick's. Dick's Deluxe. I get 2 Dick's specials. Yeah, it's Dick's Deluxe. I get 2. My go-to Dick's order is 2 Dick's specials, a milkshake, 4 onions, 4 ketchups, and a fry. Because they always sell their stuff separate. But I love Dick's Burgers in Seattle is like one of my favorites. And people who are not from Seattle always shit on it, but it's like it's such a Seattle
it's like
staple.
Whataburger.
Yeah, it's just a Seattle.
I don't fucks with Whataburger. Sorry for all y'all Southern people.
I don't either, but it's not my favorite. But I have to say, in LA, Burger She Road.
I was gonna say burgers never say die.
Burgers never say die are really good too. I mean, anything with burger and death, I guess.
Right.
99
Burger She Road.
Burger She Road.
Really?
It's on La Brea, not La Brea. It's on Beverly. It's really good. It's a smash burger. And then I found a new spot in Santa Monica called Heavy Handed, which does hand dip cones. Heavy Handed is really good burgers. It's like a walk up spot.
Oh,
every guy who works there is like a super cool dude, and you almost feel like it almost feels like you're ordering a burger from Supreme because all the guys are like super tatted, super cute, super thin, and they're always like, "Yeah, can I help you?" And you're like, "I'm sorry to bother you at your job." But then once you order, they like seem like charming and sweet. But it is one of those things where you're like, "Am I cool enough to be here?" But
I know that reminds me of Valencia. It's like intimidating.
Yes, exactly.
Like those like intimidating cool white guys.
Yeah, no, can't make eye contact with them.
Why do I feel intimidated by that? I should unpack this.
Well, because let's be honest, everyone's just reclaiming high school fame. They're just doing it later in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I think people who are cool when they were not cool in high school are mean now is because they're just like trying to reclaim like, oh, mean people are always cool people.
Right.
So that's why they like have to be mean.
Were you cool in high school?
I wasn't necessarily cool, but like I was a class clown. I was goofy. I was loud.
I feel like you probably were cool.
I feel like I was voted most school spirited.
See, if you were voted on anything, you were cool.
I was voted class clown and most school spirited, but they made the choice for me, and so I think they just chose most school spirited. But I mean,
most school spirited.
I know it just because I was loud. I also ran for homecoming king, so I think that's. Also,
I love that. Wait, you always say this, but like, how did they? How did you get away with that?
Technically, I won.
Okay.
So technically, my friend Hilton, we have this conversation all the time. Technically, I won homecoming king, but like our principal was like really weird about it because the homecoming king had a cooler prize. It was like you got a parking spot in like the teacher's parking lot or something,
and not the queen.
And not the queen. The queen got something else. But I just remember being like, I want to run for homecoming king, and like people like campaigned for it. Like we had posters like Rose for homecoming king, and I like the principal called me in and he was like, look, you won, but it's just not fair. And I was like, why not? You can have a female homecoming king and queen. And
that sucks.
But
at least you won. That's
but
cool.
I did win technically, and then my friend Sundis, who won homecoming queen, gave me the crown. So she was like, she was like, you earned it, and she like gave me the crown. So it was really nice.
That's like so sweet.
Yeah,
so you were popular in high school because to be able to like do that. You were known.
I think I was known and I was loud. So I guess I was like popular, but I don't think I was like a popular kid. Like there were popular kids at my high school, but I was like. What is
considered popular like in high school? Because I guess that's very subjective.
Perfect. Like people who are like perfect.
Like Regina George.
Like Regina George, perfect, had all the right clothes, had the right car. Like, you know, my family wasn't balling. We were like, you know,
Yeah.
We weren't poor, but we were broke. So like we made it work. But I feel like you always had like the right clothes, you dated the right people. You broke up with people at the right time.
Oh,
like,
wow.
you know, funny, goofy things like that.
I definitely wasn't popular. I mean, no, I feel like I was nice to people, so people like knew me, and I would like know different friend groups and stuff. But
social butterfly. Yeah,
I was social, but I feel like I wasn't fully active enough to like ever be voted like anything.
Yeah, I get
you know, like the people that were voted like most likely to succeed or most likely to win a Grammy, like you had to be like an ASB. You know what ASB is?
Yes, you had to be an ASB to get voted.
I feel like usually it's the people who are like in ASB
because they're rigging the votes,
or if you're like involved in something. And I just wasn't really involved in anything. Like I did show choir, but I was like my my grades were like less than a 2.0, so I couldn't even perform. Fair. So I was just chilling. I was just vibing, you know.
Best thing about high school is vibes.
Right, but I was like friends with people. I think I was just nice to people, and that was it. But
I think that was the secret too in high school. It was like if you were nice and cool and like kicked it, people like wanted to be around you.
Yeah. I think that, you know, I like cared about what I wore to, like I would do my hair, you know, like
you put effort into it.
I put effort to my like outfits, so people would notice.
See, that was the funny thing about my high school is that the popular kids didn't really put effort into it when it came to school, but always looked good outside of school. Like girls would show up in like black leggings and like a North Face zipped hoodie all the way up. Yeah. Like just weren't, but they always had the nice shoes, always had the best Jordans, all that stuff, had the best cars, best purses.
Right.
But like
they were just chilling.
Sweatpants inside out. Like they were just chilling because it was like school was just like, but if you went to Franklin High School, which was our rival high school, Franklin was a fashion show.
I was gonna say people like I felt like I got ready for school. I felt like I would actually prefer to save my outfits for school than to like for an after school whatever.
See, we always like we stunted at like we stunted like after hours, like at parties and stuff like that. That's what I saved all my things for. Because school, I was like, I was barely going to class. So
right. Oh my God, when was the first time you ditched class?
Oh, freshman year. Actually, no. First time I ever ditched class, 7th grade.
7th grade?
7th grade was the first time I ever ditched class.
Well, mine was sophomore year. You're a badass. 7th grade.
Thank you. Well, you know the movie 13. I resonated with that movie very much.
Oh, were you one of those people? Like did drugs and shit when you were 13?
No, I never did drugs. I've never done drugs. I never did alcohol. I was sober. I've been sober. But the whole idea of how I became friends with one of the badass girls, and she was like having sex already, and like she was like one time was like, let's break out of school.
I was too goody at 7th grade. But I also like blossomed in 8th grade, and that's when I started making out with everyone.
I do remember in having phone sex or no?
Phone sex, yeah. With Brandon Bevins. Shout out to him. Brandon Bevins is actually like you're looking real good, real healthy. Like he's all like fit. He lives in like Colombia and shit.
What is he doing in Colombia?
I don't know. From what I've gathered from the internet is that he like did a lot of investment in like NFTs and shit, or in fucking. What's that?
Bitcoin,
or whatever. And I don't know.
He has a high yield savings account. I bet you.
Probably.
He's living off his interest rate.
Probably, and he's in Colombia, so it's even cheaper.
Yes, good for him.
Shit.
Do you
I haven't
pause?
even done the intro yet. Let's do the intro and then let me shit.
Okay. Plug yourself.
We are just all over the place.
Yeah, we are. How many minutes? Actually, we keep a tally. How many minutes in before we did
like
an intro?
8 minutes in.
Whoa, that's a record for us.
I think one time we did 15 minutes. So I think 15 minutes.
That's like what are we, a French indie film? All of a sudden the credits start playing halfway through the movie, you know, and the title card just shows up. Okay, anyways, plug yourself.
Hi guys. It's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Broken Therapy.
And if you didn't know already,
this
is what you're listening to.
If it's the first time you're here.
I'm so sorry. If this is your first time, I'm sorry.
Honestly, if this is the first episode you're listening to, pause and go listen to another one.
This one's going to be a ramble shackle.
Actually, no, I love that. I always say, like, listen to episodes with Rose, the twins, HK. Like, those are always good. And Nathan. Just whatever the vibe is. I have to, like, feel the person out. I'm like, oh, you'll like a Rose episode, you know?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Or like, oh, yeah, definitely the twins for you. Or, like, you know.
It's like zodiacs.
Yeah.
Astrology.
No, it really is.
Oh, I love that.
But anyways, Rose is here.
I'm here. Duh, if you couldn't tell.
Duh. Wait, all of a sudden I don't have to shit anymore.
Because you talked about it.
Yeah.
Now your poop got scared. You can't make anymore.
It did.
Yeah.
And then I got, you know, distracted.
You got distracted.
And then now I can't poop. That is my slack. I'm going to be pissed.
It was your slack. I know those noises.
I just get slacked all the time.
I'm not even kidding.
It's an anxiety. It's like your alarm when you wake up in the morning.
We had slack at Wing. And like when like a celebrity would walk in, like the slack noises, like it. I'm not kidding you right now. I literally, my heart just like if you
it's
could
anxiety.
Oh my god, it
PTSD.
Oh, I hated it.
I know.
That's why I went from the front desk to work as a line cook in the back. I was like, I'm so over this shit. I was like, I'd rather hear the ding ding of orders than fucking slack noises.
Whew, that sounded like an awful job.
I hated it. I will say though, the Wing was
made a lot of friends.
I made a lot of really good. I mean, my neighbor bestie, literally.
Yeah, I love
Alyssa.
her.
Alyssa's the best human being. My literal personal makeup artist for everyone. But the Wing was a very interesting place to work at. I think people who are still hung up on that trauma from the Wing, I think have attachment issue. I've like finally kind of gotten out of it, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, that was like a weird time in my life that I worked at that social club. Yeah, I learned a lot, and I feel like I had a friend break up, and then me and that friend, like, you know, Katrina and I broke up because we working at the Wing was like so like terrible, tumultuous for our relationship, and now we're friends again. We're closer than ever before. So it's like the Wing was such a weird, amazing place. If anyone has questions about that, I'll always talk about it.
I feel like everyone has that one job that like traumatized them so much.
Oh yeah.
For me, it was fashion PR. Like I still feel like I'm healing.
You still are healing from that.
Like like I got back to therapy because I realized that I still have so much like PTSD from that. Like I will. It was so traumatizing.
Traumatizing jobs are the worst.
Yeah, that was my Wing.
That was see, everyone has a wing.
You are the wind beneath my wings. Except you're not, bitch.
Remix. That's a really good one.
I know.
What do you want to talk about?
Let's read emails because I feel like I need to stay on top of the emails.
Let's stay on top of the emails.
I feel like it's fun. You know, sometimes you just don't want to talk about yourself. You just want to talk about other people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
And there's also like there's only so many life updates that we can give the people.
For sure. I mean, do you have any life updates? You haven't been on in a minute.
I'm single.
Yes, that's a life update.
I am single again.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel like we are in a really good headspace. It was we just talked recently, and that was really nice. But I'm like single. Like I'm not trying. I basically broke up with a Southern gentleman and was like very much like, I don't want to date. Like, I just want to be alone.
Right.
So I'm not single. I'm alone. And I love it. I wouldn't say that I love it, but I think it's what I need for right now in my healing journey. Yeah. Because I just like, Do
you think you'd ever get back with him?
You know, I think about it a lot, actually. I do. I think that he is one of probably only people in my exes that I'm like, oh, I could. Because he was honestly a great guy. I know a lot of people don't believe this, but for me, it feels very real. He was the right guy, wrong time. And I know some people are like, that's not true. And I'm like, no, for me, it really was. Because like I had parents with back-to-back cancer. I had this tumultuous job. I had a toxic work environment. Like I had all this like stuff that was like piling up. And I just like... being a girlfriend just felt really overwhelming for me. So I just basically went to him, and he was so kind and so sweet and just like, yeah, take your time. Like, please, you know, Aww. It was never like anything about like me wanting to sleep with other people because I have no sexual drive. That's another reason why I felt really bad. Right. But no, it was just like a really good, like, please go take care of yourself. And I think he also needs some healing too. So it was a nice little thing. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to imagine a future with him. Right. But like right now I'm imagining a future with him, but a present with myself.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm out of the sadness and kind of realizing like he's still there, but like just not in the capacity that I'm ready to commit to someone. I just didn't want to, he was the one person that deserved all the attention and love, and I just didn't have enough attention and love to give to him. Yeah. It's pretty much that simple. But yeah.
Oh, and how is he dealing from it? Is he really sad?
I know he was really sad for a while, but we've talked, and he seems to also be like really good because his whole thing is always like, you know, don't worry about me, like worry about yourself, which I really greatly appreciate from him. He's
shout out to him. Like, what a
Southern
nice
gentleman.
Southern gentleman. He's a Southern gentleman.
He's a Southern gentleman. He's honestly one of the sweetest. He instilled my belief that there are great men in the world.
Honestly, like, yeah, no, he's a really nice guy.
Him and Brian, there are good men out there.
There
you know
are.
what I mean?
Brian's a good guy.
Brian's a great guy. He made you dinner.
He did
before this,
and then wash the dishes.
And wash the fucking dishes.
I love him so much. Like, I just like sometimes feel bad because I'm like, I need to like do better. You know. I'm a good girlfriend. Yes. I'm there emotionally and all those things, but it's just like, as like a partner to live with, I know I have a lot of work to do.
See, but at least you know it. You're not in denial. And I think that I was in denial. And then I had to come fess up to him and be like, hey, I just can't. I just don't have it in me right now. But no, I think it's completely normal. Yeah. Just to show up as you are. Yeah.
And I know that just like, I've also accepted I'm not Brian. So I won't like, I can't show up like Brian. Mm-hmm. But I have to be better as a, make effort as a partner to, clean up after myself. And you did wash your own dish. I did. See? I do. The little things. I try to tell them. They're there. I'm working on it, you know? So, we'll see. Anyways, we have this email. Okay. And we could read it. Do you want to read it or should I read it?
You could read this one. I'll read the next one.
Okay. This one says, I am absolutely in shock and sick to my stomach in all caps.
Okay, she means it or they mean it.
Yeah. Okay. And it says, please do this with Rose.
I'm right
we
here.
Got a request.
Okay. I love requests. Okay.
I know they want you.
I'm paying attention. Okay. I'm taking notes.
Hey, Steph, I'm writing this to you freshly from just hearing the most mind-fucked thing ever. Okay, so I go over to my best friend's of 7 years house spontaneously to hang out and catch up. At some point, we get onto the conversation about my relationship with my boyfriend of 3 years. Okay. She looks at me scared and hesitant and says she has something to tell me. Oh my God. She's like, my heart was literally racing. She reminds me of my 22nd birthday, which at the time my boyfriend and I weren't together. However, we were fucking. She goes and tells me that on the night her and my boyfriend fucked while I was out getting more liquor with my cousins, which now that I think about it, it should have been a little suspicious. I asked for her to come with me and she said no and that she's just going to stay. They were the only two people that stood at that house, and she told me that that's when it went down.
She fucked her best friend's boyfriend? I guess before they were... Okay.
She was very much aware that him and I had a thing going on, and I know everyone was drunk, but I honestly feel like that's not an excuse because she clearly wasn't drunk enough since she still remembers it happening.
Well, okay.
I literally wanted to throw up. I was shaking and could not believe that what I was hearing. I was in complete shock. I never suspected anything before that anything had ever happened between them. She goes on to tell me that they only fucked that one time, but while I was asleep, they were making out right beside me.
What is this, high school?
This is Euphoria.
Yeah,
Maddie
this is your first Maddie.
Cassie.
You guys, what? No, she's lying. Sorry, that was my impression. Thank you. You're welcome.
I feel so sick to my stomach, but wait, there's more. ...
Jesus. Is she pregnant?
I don't know. My boyfriend and I got together a month after my birthday, and she tells me that even while drinking, they would get handsy and flirt, but never escalate to anything else. This was going on for 3 months after we got together. She explained to me that she never felt anything towards him and that she would reject him when she noticed them getting a little too close. I just can't believe the amount of times we hung out and these things were happening right in front of me. I never even thought for 1 second anything was going on between them. Of course, because you trusted them.
Yeah, you trusted them.
At the end of those 3 months, they both got into it pretty bad, and I stopped bringing them around each other. Mind you, I still had no clue what happened between them. So since then,
they had their own little mini breakup while you were dating, basically?
Yep.
Okay, weird.
So since then, she's had him blocked and hasn't seen him.
Okay, this is aggressive.
I honestly don't know what to think or how to feel about this situation. My boyfriend still doesn't know that I know. Oh, girl.
Wait, the boyfriend doesn't know?
Yeah, I just feel dumb, naive, and blind. You're not
baby
dumb.
girl, you're not dumb.
Like, I do trust people so much where I do trust people so much where I didn't think they would ever do that. I don't know. I just needed to let this out. Please let me know your true and honest opinions. I honestly wish I never knew this information. You guys are the best. She lives here in LA.
Okay. She a Cancer?
She's
she
a
sounds
Cancer.
a Cancer. She's a Cancer?
Yeah.
I called it.
Yep.
I know my water babies.
I know.
I know my water babies.
I mean, it's just fucked up.
Okay, first of all, fuck your friends. Fuck your friends and fuck your man.
Right.
Well, no longer fuck your man. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I do feel like don't feel dumb. Don't feel naive. You're ignorant. You had no idea what was happening.
Right, because it's your best friend and your man. Of course you're going to trust them.
Yeah.
They manipulated you and lied to you. Like,
yes,
that's
your belief in your trust system is not what should be questioned right now. It's what people are doing with your trust. That is the fucked
and people
up
should be doing that. So why would you think that would happen?
No, I hope you break up with both of them. Honestly,
yep.
Because I also think it's very weird. The friend blocking the boyfriend. I'm like, you guys legitimately had a breakup in a relationship while your friend was dating him. So that just seems really weird and really aggressive. And it also seems like your friend being like, I was pushing him away when things would get feely. No, girl, that's a little too. No, that isn't. I don't like that.
Especially because it's like they've been intimate more than once, clearly.
And made out while you were asleep. That is weird.
Made out while you were fucking asleep.
That is so weird. People get off on that. I know. Oh, poor baby girl.
I feel, I think definitely break up with the both of them.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything that they could say to get out of this.
No.
They're both fucked up for going behind your back. Like, what the fuck is this?
That's weird. And I mean, I don't even think this might be bad advice, a warning, but I don't even think you need to go to him to ask him if it's true or to tell him that you know this, because I don't want him to manipulate you into thinking that you were the problem or you need to stay or something. But like, I mean, I think it's weird that your friend's telling you now. Like, that seems really manipulative. Like, what made her bring this up in particular? That's very weird.
Yeah. No, that's not okay.
That's not okay.
Yeah. Like, so one time.
Yeah.
I like hooked up with this was years ago. I think I've talked about it on like when I was 23 and like unhappy and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. This circumstance, like, I did hook up with, it wasn't my friend's boyfriend, but it was like she had a crush on him. They made out, and then he like was no longer interested in her. And then, but he was also like a part of like our friend group, and like, you know, one time we got really drunk and we did like hook up. I didn't really want it because, again, like, I was drunk, and then the next morning he was trying to fuck again, and I was like trying to get out of it, and he just manipulated the situation. However, like, I felt so much guilt and wrong, and also didn't even feel like it was consensual, that I went to her right away. I couldn't even like
live with it.
I couldn't even live with it.
This girl held on for 3 years. That's weird.
That's weird.
How can you sleep at night?
No.
See?
And that's why for me, like, when I did that, I was like living with so much guilt because, one, like, I didn't even really want to do it, and I just was so vulnerable and insecure that I was like, whatever, you know, like, just any sort of man's attention was very like validating, unfortunately.
Yep.
Even if it had to be like my friend's crush. I mean, now I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But like at that moment,
very 20 something where the like you're
I was 21 or 23 or something.
That
one was 21. That was 21.
Those choices of men around you seem so small. Like, it feels like that's why high school's so ancestral.
And this was before like Tinder or dating apps. Like all I had was literally my community, you know, and like my friend group.
So you got sloppy, and that's okay.
And so, but I owned up to it, and like, granted, you know, her and I didn't really like talk for a minute, but we became friends again, but we never talked about it.
Yeah.
And I wish, and she's also like, we did a whole episode about me not being friends with my high school friends. She's also one of the people I'm not friends with.
Oh, in that group.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so I know, I mean, there's so many things that play a part to like why we're all not friends anymore, but like, and I've obviously talked about it, but I think one of the things is because there is this inner like thing that we never talked about, and it was that.
Yeah.
And so
this
unspoken thing that we never really like talked it through. Like I don't even think I really told her like, I mean, I told her what happened right when it did. Like I told her that night, all that stuff. But ever since then, obviously with time passing and looking back, I realized a lot of it wasn't really consensual.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I've never had the moment to tell her that, because after that happened, they dated for like, I think like 3 years or something like that. Yeah. And so like I had to like watch them be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But it was always like this underlying thing that was just kind of like, I never knew how to approach it or talk about it with her. And so I never did. And if we would ever become friends again, I think we would have to talk about that.
Yeah.
We would have to like find some sort of like forgiveness and healing and like understanding, you know?
And the forgiveness coming from the lack of trust, not the act itself. Because
Exactly.
the act itself is so old and dated and everything. But it's the feelings that people harbor when they're still hurt that like you have to address.
Exactly. And I mean, I just think in this situation, like there's been multiple times. And it also seems like maybe there's even more to the story that we don't know.
Girl, yeah. That's why I'm like, maybe go to the man, but then also I don't know.
And she's living like, obviously she felt guilty and then told her, but like to
3 years later?
3 months.
3 months. I thought it was years.
Yeah, no.
3 months later?
Yeah. And I feel like to carry that for 3 months is...
That's a lot.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I think at this time, I would say definitely... keep your distance from them.
No, girl, they were in a relationship for 3 years.
Oh, but she said that her best friend and the guy were doing it for like 3 months.
Yeah, but she waited 3 years to tell her that. Do you know what I mean? So the whole idea that they started fucking for 3 months within the beginning of the relationship. She's just learning this information though. That's 3 years old.
Is that what are you sure?
She was like, at some point we get on to the conversation about my relationship with my boyfriend of 3 years.
Yeah, she was with the guy for 3 years, but in the past 3 months is when they were being sneaky.
No, I thought this was like the 3 months before. This is at the beginning of their relationship is when they were getting freaky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, maybe. You're right.
This was going on 3 months after we got together.
Oh, okay.
So the whole idea of her starting point. So this is all like in the past. This is the friend. Friend is living with the guilt for 3 years and then out of nowhere decides to fess up, which makes me feel like, ooh, sneaky, sneaky boo-boo.
Sneaky, sneaky boo-boo.
I don't like that. Why are you telling her now that? And she said the friend said to our girl that they had been going on at the beginning of their relationship. They were like messing around.
Yeah.
And that when it was her birthday, they were fucking, but they weren't technically dating at that point. But they fucked that night on her birthday. Only people getting birthday sex are birthday girls and birthday boys and birthday days. Okay. That's not fair. And then that's when she's like coming out of it now and like realizing like, oh, 3 years ago, you did this terrible act 3 months into our relationship, which was fresh and still trying to figure it out. But then all of a sudden, like she had to stop bringing the friend around from the boyfriend. I feel like that would have been my red flag. Yeah. And now friend is blocking said boyfriend. Like that's crazy to me. Oh,
yeah, no, I'm sorry, girl. That's hard. And I like my heart goes out to you because I could imagine.
Maybe you and the friend can come back in a couple years.
Yeah,
maybe y'all can come back. But right now.
But I will say the reason why I told my whole story is that communication is key. Mm-hmm. So I think using time to heal, but also being able to confront how you feel and don't hold anything back. So you don't have that sort of resentment. And even if you do decide to become friends again, like make sure all of that is healed.
Yes.
Even if you talked, if you still have some sort of feeling towards it, that means you just got to keep your distance.
You got to keep your distance.
You know? But I think definitely, I mean, obviously they have a conversation. I don't know if they've like squashed it or how they left the conversation, but I think you're obviously still feeling a lot. I think you should be able to keep talking to him about it if they give you the space to. And I think that like you should tell your man that you know he fucked up.
Get out, leave.
Right now.
It's the end of you and him.
Yeah. You and him.
You and him.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Shady boots. I don't like that. Is there another one?
I know. I feel bad. Well, I love you. Thank you for writing in. And I hope that you find a lot of healing, because don't let this
stop
you from trusting people in the future.
Yeah,
just know that this has a lot to do with them and not you. And don't allow this to be trauma to, not to have trust issues.
Exactly.
Keep loving and keep being
loving. You. I'm reading the Practical Magic series books right now.
Stop.
And they always talk about how no matter, even if they had the Owens family curse, those women still fell in love. No matter what, they always fell in love.
That's so sweet. That's true. They had a curse. They still did. They
had a curse that would kill their loves, but they still fell in love.
Interesting. Okay. Hold
on. Wait, this one has a download?
And it seems like there's a part 1 and a part 2. So.
Oh my God.
What? Okay. Let's see what's happening here.
There was receipts.
Yeah.
Download the receipt.
It looks like it's a video. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay.
What?
Am I wrong for blocking my parents?
Oh my God. Okay. I hope that okay.
What? Are you okay?
I just hope I can help with this one. Parents are tricky.
I know.
Okay,
but I feel like you got the wisdom.
Okay.
It says, really need help.
Oh, fuck.
We'll try our best. We're not professionals.
We are not professionals.
We are not professionals, but we
just act like it.
We've been through shit.
We just been through. It's called trauma.
Yeah, we have a lot of trauma. Anyways, I need your help. Am I wrong for blocking my parents? It's been consistent, not stop arguing with them since I turned 18 yesterday. Okay, so she's young. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We got this.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Now that I know that it's okay. Yep. Baby girl, listen up. Okay.
Yeah.
We got you.
I turned 18 yesterday. I finally blocked them, and I think this time for good. Update, I'm 22 now, married, live an hour, and some change from them. I'm just going to copy and paste, so read this as you were my big sister. Okay.
I've always wanted to be a big sister. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah. You have big sister vibes.
Thank you so much.
I'm a big sister.
I don't think my sister would appreciate that, but that's okay. I feel like I have big sister vibes.
I feel like everyone asks us questions like we're their big sister.
I like that.
Me too.
I'm
a big sister.
You are a big sister, but as a little sister, as a little sister, to be called a big sister makes me feel really cool.
Except my brother's more mature than me. Well,
yeah,
not mature.
Actually, yeah.
He's done more
adult things. I think that's the only difference, is that his adult timeline is a lot truncated.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like
our maturity now is kind of the same.
Yes.
We're kind of at the same length.
I was rewatching Project Runway because I was depressed, and so I needed 18 seasons. Runway. I was rewatching it.
I do the same thing.
Oh my God,
I get depressed and I get
you have to binge watch the show.
I get fixated on really random shows that are very surface level.
Yeah, it's trauma.
I do. You just the nanny.
You just have to watch something. Right now. It's Project Runway and the Goldbergs. I need a show with 1,000 episodes so I can just sit and watch it.
Yeah.
So I was watching Project Runway. One of the girls on Project Runway, she's 31 but has 2 kids, and one of the kids is 8 years old. And I was like, oh, she's in a different 31-year-old than I am. She is not. We are not the same. Yeah. No. Yeah. Completely different. Anyway, sorry, but I'm a big sister. Let's go.
So the funny thing, all of this started because of a joke, as you're gonna see. I apologize, I hung up so quick. So dad is sick, and I was asking how he was doing. His response was, I got my daughter still haven't cooked for me yet syndrome. And I said I was gonna say something, but he's so sick, so I'll let him be. Let's unpack this. Hold on.
Okay.
Doing her response is I got my daughter still hasn't cooked for me yet syndrome. Okay,
just trying to make a joke or something.
Yeah. And my mom said, no, go ahead. And we're all laughing. And I said, well, I got my dad hasn't came and seen me yet syndrome. And so my mom got all serious and was like, oh, girl, y'all 2 hours away. Y'all could come see us. And I was like, we always coming there. Y'all go everywhere else. And she said, we did our traveling. And I said, okay, bye. I'll TTY out late GTG, and hung up.
Oh my God, you hit me with all the letters. Okay, BRB. Let's go.
So I finally stepped out of my comfort zone and said something thinking that I was able to express without shit hitting the fan. And this is how it went. It's a lot to read, kind of. Well, okay, so she sent us a video. It looked like a screenshot.
Holy shit. Look at those blocks of text. Girl, are we going to be able to do this?
Okay. Okay, so.
This feels, okay, first of all, we are not going to ever, this feels very personal.
She sent it to us.
Okay.
Disclosure. I mean, we're not saying her name or anything like that. So,
So it's a text message.
So basically she's taking like a screenshot video and it's like her text message with her mom. Or is it
No, it says mom.
Yeah. I was trying to see if it was a group chat.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
No, it's just her mom.
Because of the emojis?
Yeah. And so now we're going to read these text messages between her and her mother.
Okay.
This is juicy.
This is okay.
This is intense. This is trauma.
So
she's 22,
trauma.
which I get it. The 22 is a time where people don't talk about this, but your early 20s really tests your relationship with your parents because you're not like.
You're still a girl, not yet a woman.
Yes. I'm not a girl. Hey. Not yet a woman. Yeah, okay. Exactly. So but even though you're married, you're still 22, honestly. No offense.
22 married is still 22.
Right. And so, but 22 is like, you have this kind of mindset where you're like, I am an adult and I know my worth, but you're also like realizing like, wait, I was traumatized my childhood and I'm not putting up with certain bullshit anymore.
Yes.
And so you like struggle with this like forgiveness with your parents because you're just so like overwhelmed, but you're really just a child adult.
Yeah. And also, because my whole theory. Sense? Yeah, but here's my old theory. I've only been an adult for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm a child still.
You don't know yourself, but you think you know yourself at 22. You think you know yourself.
But I started becoming an adult at 24 because I had to. That's like when everything shit hit the fan with my mom and my mental health and 24. So I've only been an adult for 10 years. So she's still not adulting quite yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? She's been an adult for 2 years.
Yeah. At 22, you're still basically, you're basically like still 18.
Yeah.
Like you're just a little.
You can just drink now.
Yeah. You just drink now. You're just an 18-year-old that can drink.
It's emotions with alcohol.
But you're literally. And also, what did they say? You're like. Your
frontal lobe
is not even fucking. Yeah.
Nope, yeah. It's not done cooking.
Yeah. So you don't even know yourself. You know nothing.
Okay. But here we go.
So you don't know nothing.
Are you going to be able to read all this?
Actually, you read. Because I can't read. I don't. Okay. Too much reading.
I apologize for hanging up so fast, but the reason I hung up so fast is because the subject is very sensitive to me. But let me express something to you in the most respectful way that I can and why we haven't come down there. I haven't said anything, and I'm going to continue not to say anything because, y'all said y'all had to give the issue to God. Okay. But on the top
her parents are like, you have to give the issue to God.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
My God. Also, wait, hold on. She has 145 unread text messages.
I hate those type of bitches because how the hell?
How do you sleep at night?
Right. The anxiety of having that many notifications.
145 text messages.
She's definitely like in several group chats.
I'm sorry that I'm like dragging you, but like that gives me.
No, I
just
hate
open
it
the
too.
group chat. Don't scroll. Just open it. I can't.
No, I hate people like that too because I'm like, how do you live? You're a serial. Like, how do you live with yourself?
Also, she's living with her phone on 14%. That's crazy.
Do that too.
That's risky.
I'm pretty risky with that too.
Oh my God, I can't even think. Anyways, okay. God. But the topic of us traveling will not be coming there. Y'all make time for everything else and travel for everyone else. But when it comes to us, it feels so difficult. Y'all travel everywhere you haven't been and haven't made it come to spend time with us, to be with us, off the grid or consistent basis. Like you said, we only 2 hours away, so why should we have to pack up everything, including our 2 children? Oh, you got kids. To see y'all. God. Y'all are more than welcome to fly to Japan and everywhere else or drive up there to the purpose. Y'all are the grandparents. I don't say anything right now in this season because I'm processing a lot when it comes to relationships with my parents, but I'm cherishing so much. But the topic, we will be traveling down there until we see more of your effort, important lives and from you but she's put 2 people's names and I'm not going to say it. her mother. Oh, wait. Okay, so she sent that to her mom.
Okay.
Then, all of a sudden, her dad hits her up. She gets a text message from her dad.
Okay.
That says, baby girl, your mom just read to me what you wrote. I'm sorry you feel this way, and I pray someday it will all make it better. I've waited for you and husband, because I'm not going to use names, to come down. Oh, she keeps moving it up and down. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. For you and husband to come down as you guys agreed to before inviting to come us home. I'm sad for the effort that I'm not enough to seem to provide for you and your true support. I'm saddened by this. I work a lot. That's not an excuse, however, it is the truth. We do travel a lot to other places. However, we've never cleared the air. However, we've cleared the air from Tennessee. I patient and quietly waited without bothering you or opening serious wounds. Again, I'm saddened that this issue in no way, I'm not throwing anything up in you and your husband's face, but I drove to you to exchange cars so you guys don't be without or have a struggle payment, as well as I bought the furniture in the rental truck, and that I did require for you guys' assistance to pick it up to give in, instead of asking to give it to someone else. However, to hear his state that you make time for everyone, everything can travel everywhere, but when it comes to us, it seems more difficult. That's flat out not true, period. Oh, Dad said period.
Dad said period.
Honestly, without it being holidays or a special event, your mother and I, he says names, so I said, your mother and I have to come move in, we have not seen you since you moved in the area, including college apartments. I have come out of, oh God, she keeps moving it. I've had to pay off apartments that are not in your name, and I've had to be there for blessings of your mother when you do things. It is sad that you wedge it so easily to fully understand if you're grown or not. Oh, he's like calling her out. Okay. I did not say much anything in the last time speaking on these things. The reason is because you're an adult. Oh, shit. She like scrolls really quickly. I'm not a Zen. I'm not a Gen Zer. Okay, I can't read this shit so quickly. I apologize sincerely for all that you've done as part of on my part as behalf of my wife and what she has done knowingly. More than once, I've been thrown to the side only to keep loving and trying. Your husband once said to my wife that he has nothing to say to me due to a misunderstanding, and I bit my tongue and it hurt. Over something someone else said, and I believe is a completely misunderstanding. When I call, I always ask about you. I speak, no matter the anatomy or the slang in my direction. As for she loves you. Oops, sorry, said name. You got to break it out. Okay, well. But anyways, as for blank, she loves you and your family, and she was unfair to consistently point out that she's done. I love you. I'm so sorry we having issues as a family. However, things why I stay silent and I just have to work up. However, today I am upset and hurt. Lastly, for the record, I'm not going back and forth with arguments and text messages. I love you, and that's that. I've had enough of criticism of me. I'm not sure how your mother will react or respond, but as I said, in Tennessee, we are not the parents, not your children or your friends to talk to badly, down to, or flatly disrespect as I've had. And then she said, response, yes, sir, the reason you've been waiting and explained in more than welcome to share that you are the first reason and the only reason I expressed. As I expressed to Mom several times, all I have said is that I'll take action to come see y'all. Okay, so basically... I'm going to say, okay, now there's part 2 of this reaction video.
Thank you for being here today.
Yes, but what I'm going to say right now is I actually think you might be in the wrong.
I was going to, yeah.
If you really want to be big sister, even as the little sister, I defend my parents to my sister all the time. My sister has a good relationship with my parents, but not as good as I had, right? Mm-hmm. But what I will say in this back and forth is your dad seems to be not a man of a lot of words, but he wrote this to you in a text message. And I know it is very hard for our elders to text. They don't want to text.
Especially
they want long ones. They just want to do conversations in things. Your dad also sent you another text message, and you sent him a couple voice memos, but we can't hear them or see them. But I feel like what you should do is you should visit your parents first. Visit them first, and then be like, I saw you guys. Can you guys come the next time?
Yeah.
But they're your parents. Flying to Japan is not the same as driving 2 hours. 2 hours for an old person that's a lot. Like, to be in a car, and cars are very dangerous. The road is crazy and all this stuff. But I feel as though you're right now experiencing what it's like to be a parent with 2 kids, and you realize that it's a lot and it's really busy. And so you're wondering, your parents are probably retired, or they're probably like enjoying their lives right now. So you think they have a lot of time, but this is probably the first time that they've had time to themselves in a very, very long time.
I was going to say, like, it sounds like they're empty nesters.
Yeah.
And going to like these trips is something that it doesn't seem like they were able to do before, and now they can do.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to take care of like a family,
Yes. But
and like, I think, like, I get it in a sense of, like, for instance, like, my dad lives in Michigan, and like a lot of times I felt like I have to like go there, right? Yeah. Or like they go on trips, but he doesn't really come out here. But and that does hurt me sometimes, 'cause I'm just like, why don't y'all like take a trip out here, But I think like I don't know. I guess I just don't try to like take it too personally. I don't know. For me, I'm just so used to like not having my dad around, because he's been like lived in a different state since I was 18 years old. So I'm like very much used to it.
Yeah.
And I think just like, and he does visit, but it's hard. Like, traveling to see each other is just really hard.
Yeah.
And that's just, we have to take flights. As far as driving, it's just like, I think what needs to happen is that there needs to be maybe like, instead of just like, you never come see me, but kind of creating like a plan, like you said, like you go there first. How about you come here? The one thing I do like that I respect my mother right now that she's doing, because all of my siblings and family is just like spread out. Like, I have family in Texas, I have family in Michigan. Like, my mom's very good at being like coordinating. Okay, Thanksgiving we're gonna be here.
Oh, I see what
Christmas we'll do this here.
Yeah, okay.
The so-and-so's birthday is gonna be here. Like, I think you just have to kind of set those like boundaries and those times of being like, this is when I would like to see you. Because people just really get, especially empty nesters, could get really caught up in like their life, and like traveling and being relaxed at home. I don't know. I mean, I'm conflicted, because at one point, like, I agree with them, but also at the other point, like, I do kind of agree with her, because especially when you have kids, you're going to want their grandparents there all the time, for their kids. You want their kids to spend time with their family, especially if they're getting older.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
don't know, I'm conflicted.
I'm also conflicted too, because I just feel like there is,
maybe no one's wrong or right in the situation. It just seems like there's not the communication, and it's just not really like there. It just seems like it's a lot of, and I don't know. We don't know anything past what we're seeing, but it just seems like there's a lack of like communicating in the right way.
Yeah. And I also feel like, as I'm like kind of skimming these other, like your part 2, it also just seems like your mom is just really hurt.
Yeah.
Like, it seems as though, well, for one, you mentioned in the first part of the email that your dad's sick, so maybe he can't travel right now. And I'm very sympathetic to sick parents, because I have 2 sick parents,
right,
as much as, and my mom, who is handicapped and walks with a cane, is always trying to come to LA. And I'm like, woman, please don't travel. Like,
aww,
you got to have a wheelchair. And also,
right,
I live on a second story. Like, so.
How is that? Yeah.
But she still wants to come visit, because she's still her mind's so young. My mom is like 73, but she has the mind of a 20-year-old. Like, she wants to kick it. And so I think that your mom is just really hurt, because I think she wants you to make more of an effort, because although your parents might make these trips and everything, what you have over them is youthfulness. Like, it might be hard to get your kids to get in a car and drive 2 hours, but you have the capability to do that, because you're still a young mom.
Yeah.
And I feel like, your mom is probably also trying, maybe
she's 22.
Yeah, and I also feel like your mom is just really hurt and really tired right now, and so I feel like sometimes when parents are like, "You sound really disrespectful," it's them basically saying, "You hurt my feelings," and I don't know how to say that because it's hard to a parent to admit
1,000.
to a kid that my feelings are hurt because I'm supposed to be the adult.
Yeah,
and so I think you should tell your parents like, "Look, I'm offended that you guys can travel all the time, but I get it." In a sense that you make these plans to go travel, can you try to make plans to come see us once? If anything, we can meet you in the middle. Maybe choose like we do what Steph's mom does, where you guys choose a restaurant in the middle of the 2 hours and try to meet there.
Yeah.
Or you go to them once just to see if they can, or if,
I think it's just coordinating better.
Communicating
better, and understand that like the both of you guys want to see each other. Like you guys all want the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it's so funny when we have arguments where like you guys want to see each other. Yeah. And so someone unfortunately just has to be the bigger person about it.
Exactly. And I think just everyone needs to drop that and realize, okay, clearly we're not on the same page of like, like when we should do this. Yeah. So let's create a schedule like birthdays, holidays, and like, or just random weekends. Like that needs to just be like better communicated, and also like don't take point fingers and be like, well, I come to you more, you come, like it's just
because I don't think
sometimes just shit like that happens,
I also feel like when you live in a state of love currency, as I call it, where I did this thing because I expect you to do something in return, that's not love. You do things out of the gracious of your heart and you don't expect anything in return. Yeah. Like you have to put yourself out there to be like, you know what? I told you I was vulnerable with you guys, and I mentioned that I don't like it that you haven't visited me. It turned into an argument. I'm sad that it hurt my feelings. I'm frustrated that your guys' feelings are hurt, but I'll hear you out here. Let's make a compromise. But
she says she blocked her parents.
I think I'm sorry, but I think that's a little aggressive.
I don't think that's okay.
I think to answer your question, which is the subject line, am I wrong for blocking my parents? Yes. I will say that. But I don't think you're wrong in your beliefs in the fact that you're frustrated with your parents, but I think the frustration has to be a little bit of swallowing your pride right now, unfortunately, just to be somewhat of the adult in the situation. And it's so hard to be the adult to your parents, but that's what being 20 and growing up means.
Yeah, especially when you have like a family of your own too, you're even more of an adult.
Yeah. You married and have kids. That's crazy. You 22. I was doing dumb shit at 22. But I think that you just need to realize that I also want you to imagine having a conversation like this with your kids in the future. Like the cycles repeat themselves. So it's kind of like putting yourself in the position of trying to be the bigger person, if only to make the relationships better. Yeah. To just better it for everyone. Your kids want to see their grandparents. The grandparents want to see the kids.
Yeah. I really don't think this is like an actual problem. I think everyone wants the same thing. And I think feelings are getting hurt because you guys are you're not like telling each other how you feel properly, if that makes sense. Like,
and your parents almost probably
won't. It becomes so like defensive. Like you have to have this like armor, and I get that. I had the same way with my mom too, and I have to like teach myself to not get so like guarded,
because your parents aren't going to change.
Right. They're not going to change.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I mean? Nope. I hate to say it. Yeah. But if you want to have the emotional intelligence to have a better relationship, and that's the thing, maybe because you blocked your parents, maybe you just don't want a relationship with your parents. And if that's the case, then having arguments is not a relationship.
For sure.
So if you want to have a relationship with your parents, then you just have to know that you have to swallow a lot of your pride and a lot of the arguments.
Yeah, because maybe it's just deeper than this. I feel like this seems a little too surface level.
I think like, there has to be a bigger...
There's a bigger issue to this. So like maybe figuring out what that issue is and find like some sort of healing and acceptance of, whatever that is, and just, and decide there if you do want to continue with if what's best for you is to continue that relationship with your parents or not. And I don't know, like for me, my parents are, I've talked about it all the time. My parents are so far from perfect, and my mommy issues and everything, but like I feel like there's different stages of like healing, like your parent trauma, at least for me that I've seen and I've experienced. It's like, first it comes with just like realizing it. Mm-hmm. And then there comes a bit of anger. Yeah. And it just becomes very triggering. And then with like work on yourself and also like just be able to like experience life, you find you like realize that you relate to your parents more than you realize. And then that kind of humanizes them.
And then they become people and
they
your
become
parents.
people and they become not your parents.
No, they're
and
just
you're
humans.
like, oh, okay. Like
you also are flawed and had no idea what you were doing when you raised a baby. That's crazy,
right.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not just these wise creatures that have been telling me how to live my life the whole time. You also were 22 at one point.
Exactly. And still we're figuring shit out for yourself. And so when you realize that, obviously if there's those like step parents that are really awful, right? We're not talking about that. We're just talking about like
this predicament.
And also like my experience too, to reflect, I guess, on this. But like, yeah, you just realize like, oh shit, like, yeah, there's so many flaws in these two people, but that's okay. Like I'm my own person. I could take what I want from what I've, gained from being raised by these people and just, and then like, I don't know. And then there comes a little like, this kind of like this thing that gets taken off like your shoulders and like the weight,
Oh, when you realize your parents are just people.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
it's almost like because it's a relief because then it's like
at one point you were so angry at them. You're like, why didn't you do this?
You're supposed to know everything.
Yeah, why didn't you
chose
do
to
that?
have kids? You're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be Superman.
Why did you lie about that one thing?
Why did you say Santa was real? But Santa is real, kids.
Santa is real.
But like the whole idea. But yes, to that idea.
You realize like they didn't know what the fuck they're doing.
No, they also were learning and also were making mistakes and stumbling and rumbling around in these streets. Like it is a sigh of relief. There is a mourning process because it feels as though there is a death to an idol. There's a death to a hero in a way, but in the end, your parents they're just as flawed as you were. I mean, if you think about it, if you are a reflection of both your parents, then think about the best things about you and the worst things about you.
And it's from them.
It's from them.
Yeah.
It's just what you do with it in response of it. You know what I mean? Like I have a great relationship with my parents, but I still know that there are some times where I have to treat my mom like a mom and not my friend. Because that's like where our relationship gets blurry sometimes, is because we are so close that I need to like put a tape measure up and just be like, okay, she's my mom today. And with my dad, I mean, like, I was so resentful about my dad in my 20s. I hated him because I just thought he was like, I didn't understand his depression. I didn't understand his like struggles with alcohol. Like, I just kind of was like, it's this thing. And then when I saw him as a human, I was like, oh, he's just dealing with shit.
Right. Yeah.
He's just trying to figure it out like me. And then I was like, oh, he's great. I love this man. I feel bad for him. That's great. And now we're friends. But I think with Dear Reader, I feel like your parents, you're 22, and I just feel like this early in the relationship with your own kids and your marriage and your parents, I think that you might need some time away to just learn to see your parents as parents and just like give it some space.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like, you don't want to carry that weight. Have you seen Love is Blind?
Yes, I have.
You know how like Clay's parents had that conversation?
Oh, I haven't seen that season then. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, anyone who's watching Love is Blind, which I know is a lot of you guys, because
I'm so behind. I know. I'm only on the first. Okay, sorry.
But there's one like person, Clay, who was, he said no at the altar. Spoiler alert. He said no, but and a lot of it he was saying that it's just like he was scared of commitment, and although that's why I was like, why did you go on the show? But he was scared of commitment.
To probably get over his commitment.
Yeah. And was also scared that he wouldn't be able to be faithful for like the rest of his life. And that he would eventually cheat because he used to see his father cheat all the time on his mom. And, like he would even take him to certain places and see that happening. And so he really like had just such a horrible example of a husband that he was just so scared of that. And so that was kind of like an issue in that relationship. And then it gets to the wedding. He says no. And there's a scene. Oh my God. It like makes me, every time I like watch that scene or think of it, like makes me tear up because it's so powerful. I'm gonna tear up right now. But it was between like his parents, his mom and his dad. And his mom was like, I just feel like, damn, I just want to play it. Do I have my phone around? Because I just don't want to butcher the powerful words this woman said.
No, where is your phone?
Probably put it away because I just didn't want anyone to bug me. Okay.
Well, there was Slack noises over there, so.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just go right here because I know Love is Blind did a clip of it because it was like so good. I was like, oh yeah, they won the whole season. They were
his parents.
Yeah, I know. Season. Like it was so good. I'm telling you.
Is it a reel?
Yeah, there's a reel because it's like the scene from it. Oh yeah, here we go.
He struggles with a marriage.
With commitment? Okay.
With a marriage.
Okay.
Is it sacred? Mm. Do you honor? He struggles with that. And all of those emotions and twisted feelings, he took that to the altar. And a lot of that stems from things that you have to explain and then apologize. Don't make excuses, just apologize so that closure can be had. But the marriage thing, the commitment, he struggles with that. He's like, I know you stayed, Mom, but there's things that I saw that I should not have saw or been in a position, and kids, when they grow up and they see things, it's like, is marriage for real? Or is marriage something that you get into and you lie and you deceive? And he took a lot of that to the altar with his decision.
Here's the thing, too, Rita.
So sad, the music.
I didn't necessarily have the best role models in my life.
I know.
I can't ever remember my father ever being part of my life. And
listen, I've always told you I forgave her. But there are things that had came out in the end that I did not know about until this experience. I was hurt. Again, I'm divorced from you, but things that he shared with me that I did not know. So that's what I'm saying. He took a lot on his back. And although we came from broken families, that doesn't mean that we have to pass on that brokenness to our kids.
Absolutely. Stop the bleeding, stop the cycle.
Right. Your past and things that you witness is part of your DNA, it's part of your inside. And if you don't get freaking help, you bring that shit into the next thing. So the fact that he did this process, he wants to be in a long-term relationship. He wants that.
Tell him meet somebody like you.
Huh?
I met you, tell him meet somebody like his mom.
Yeah, but you met me, but you wasn't good too.
Girl.
Ooh. Shout out to her.
She's done some growth. She's obviously you got to get to that higher state of being. Mm-hmm. But that's huge. That whole idea of that we have to, when we see the patterns, we either accept them and continue them and the cycle just keeps going, or you have to break them. Now, if you're the person that breaks them, no one said that was going to be easy. That's going to be the hardest thing. If you're the person that's choosing to break intergenerational trauma, whoo, that shit is difficult. It's not easy. So you just sometimes have to be the bigger person that just swallows the pill and just moves on.
Exactly. So relating it back to Homegirl, I think, I don't know what we were talking about. I think we were just talking about parents.
Well, just your parents and
not
seeing
holding
them as
their,
people.
seeing them as people and not carrying like she said, carrying that weight, I forgot what she said.
See them as your friends. Your friends, how many times have we planned and canceled and planned and all this stuff? And how come we never do the podcast at my house? I always drive out here. But none of that stuff matters. We have. That's what I'm saying. But we have. But you see what I mean? But we have. So I think there's this idea that sometimes we have to give our parents the same lacks that we give our friends. Or we give other people in our lives. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We're sometimes a little extra hard on them.
Yeah, because we expect them to be perfect because they were supposed to, they taught us
and to go
everything.
above and beyond for you.
Yeah, and sometimes they're exhausted as hell and they want to go to Japan.
I know. My dad's been to Japan and he loves it. And he could have came to visit me instead, but now you decided to go to Japan. I'm like, you know what? Do you?
You're old,
like
sir.
You're old,
do
sir,
it.
and like you've raised me, and like go ahead, go off.
And
like,
I mean,
you couldn't afford it before, and now you could afford it now. Like hell yeah,
because you ain't got no kids.
Because you ain't got no kids. Well, no, he does, but
but in a different capacity.
Yeah,
I mean, his kids are like adulting. Well, except your brother, but like he's
like,
little.
Yeah, well, he's like 15 now.
Oh, he's adulting.
Yeah,
he's a kid now. I was staying at taking care of myself when I was 16.
Yeah, he's fine. No, he's independent now.
But I also do feel like, and dear reader, I'm sorry if this is like a projection or if you don't agree with this, but I also do think that you're coming with terms with the fact that your parents can't be there for you all the time. That you have to be there for yourself. Like it seems like you really want to be mommy's little girl or daddy's little girl, and you got to get out of that role sometimes.
Yeah, I got that. So hopefully that was good advice, and hopefully it didn't trigger you. But
and if it was bad advice, don't take any of it then.
Yeah, because also we only know what we're given.
Yeah.
Like we don't know how the parents are, what the
context of it. But I don't think blocking is is the cure.
No, I don't think blocking. Yeah, I feel like it's a very dismissive way to handle something. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I don't think that's fair. I think blocking your parents are probably really hurt by that.
Yeah, and I think blocking is cutting off
cheating,
and it's cutting off something that is going to be a difficult conversation to have. But you gotta put on your big girl pants and have that conversation.
Set boundaries, have a plan. Like maybe unfortunately, you're gonna have to be the person to like create those plans for the family. Like how my mom is the one that's being like, okay, we see each other this time, you go to Texas this time, you go to Michigan this time. Like she like
Carmen Sandiego,
she like coordinates that. Maybe like you're just gonna have to be that person. So and that's okay.
Yeah. Parents aren't perfect.
Yeah. Parents are not perfect. I want to do another email. Are you tired? What's your vibe?
Sleepy. I got a job. I got work in the morning.
What time do you like start work?
We start work around like 10, but I have some stuff that I need to do before work. Oh. Do you want to do one more email?
No, because you don't want to. No. I know we're already past an hour, but Nina like loves. She always requests to do a longer episode.
Who does?
Nina.
Does she really?
She feels like sometimes an hour is too short. What do you guys think about an hour? Do you want more than an hour?
I feel like we've done an hour. I feel like we've done 2 hours before.
It's because we hung out
that's
ahead
true.
of time. But we could. I mean, if you're tired,
I'm a little sleepy.
I'm also kind of tired too. But
see, girl, don't put the blame on me. You also tired.
I know, but I just like hang out with you.
We can hang out a little bit afterwards.
Okay, for a little.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. No sleepover. No sleepover. I got a baby at home. A baby.
Bats is home.
Bats is home watching Friends.
Brian is saying, oh guys, I haven't said this on the pod yet. Brian approved
getting a dog.
Fuck yeah. In a few months. Not a kitten, but a dog. Not a baby, but a dog.
But a dog.
I know.
It will be a kitten to Junie. Junie will think it's a kitten.
I know, for sure. Well, everyone's a cat to Junie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're cats. We're just big cats that feed her.
You
know what I mean? That's it.
We do the hunting.
Yeah, exactly. And she does all the laying around.
And just being like
a sex panther.
Oh my God. I love her life, honestly.
I know. I want to come back as a cat.
I think I would too, but like a cat that's like spoiled. I don't want to be like out in the streets. That scares me. Every time I see those cats, I'm just like, are you okay? But they love it.
Sometimes they do because they get to be tigers again. Like their ancestors.
Yeah. Why? How did we start domesticating cats? How did we start domesticating animals?
I think feel like the Egyptians.
Is it the Egyptians?
I believe the Egyptians. And then dogs, I think, was, very much like a hunt and gather. We needed them to help us with wolves and stuff and whatnot. I love that you would think that I know this.
Because I feel like you read a lot of things.
Thanks, but I'm pretty sure that's
very like you just know like random facts and you're very educated.
But I do think that like I want to say it's the Huns that originated domesticating dogs.
Huns?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were, but I could be wrong.
The Huns.
Yeah, those guys. I could be wrong though, but I mean, but it was just the fact that it was like with cats. I think the Egyptians always had cats and all their stuff.
That's true. Maybe it is the Egyptians. I would love a lion. If lions were actually like domesticated, I would be so down to have a lion. If they weren't like gonna kill you.
Okay, there we go. Preempt.
Yeah, if they were gonna kill you and they were like could be domesticated.
I was gonna say Junie constantly tries to kill you.
She does, but thank God she's
Imagine
so small.
a bigger version though.
I love it.
I want to die secretly. I love it.
But like, she doesn't like actually bite that hard. She just nibbles, you know.
Except that one time where she scratched me, it scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, no, she does scratch.
That terrified me.
But like, if I could have a big, huge cat that didn't scratch or bite, they just cuddled.
Oh, then just get like a teddy bear or something.
No, but I want them to like purr.
Get Brian a purr. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Just ask him to purr for you.
I know. I do cuddle with Brian and Junie. It's like, is that not enough?
Yeah. You need one more? God. You're about to get a dog. Come on.
I'm excited.
It's going to be fun.
So stay tuned. Hopefully Brian doesn't change his mind.
He won't because it's on wax now.
I mean, he doesn't care. If he changes his mind, he changes his mind. He's very like stubborn like that.
He's such a Cancer.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
Plug yourself.
Plug yourself.
Hey, this is Rose McAleese, and you can find me at Rose_Etta or the new blog on the block.com. Also, BMF is airing. My episode is episode 4.
Episode 4, okay.
Premiering March 22nd.
We'll be tuned in.
Check it out.
Sleepy Rose.
Sleepy me. It's because I'm wearing this.
We're cozy right now. We're in our hoodies.
Sweats. I'm in my special sweatsuits.
I also recorded 2 episodes today.
Girl, go to sleep.
I know.
You did your job.
I did like 3 jobs today.
Yeah, and I heard slack noises. You deserve a break.
I know. Okay,
Plug yourself.
Follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brogirltherapy.com.
Woo!
All that shit is there.
All the shit.
All them shits. Okay, bye.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, I'm tired.
Girl therapy.